Hey guys, welcome to 316 Automotive again, the internet car show that's all about resto and repair for cars. Before we get going today, I want to show you a little something. This here is a hose reel. It's a used hose reel that my son got me for Christmas, and it worked out great. I put it on my compressor, as you can see here, mounted on a piece of wood, and man, it's been great because I didn't have one before. So that's all well and good. Now I'm using this thing and the hose busts right there. Makes a big noise. Fine. We got to fix it. So what I did is I cut out the old segment of hose. Here it is, a little bit shorter right here. But all you're doing, let me get this here. You unspool this thing and you cut out the bad section of hose, and then you want to do an end. Well, the end that was here, it was a swaged collar, and it was this thread with this pipette feature right there crammed in there, and then this collar was swaged on. You can see I got the collar off to show you what the OEM hose looked like. So what do you do when you don't want to throw away the rest of the hose, but you want to have a good looking repair? You could go to Lowe's and Ace Hardware, and they'll have something like this. You cram this in there and you put on a little hose clamp on here to keep it together. Well, I didn't really like that. That just doesn't look good. It looks unprofessional. So got on the internet, and what I got was this. It's a hose end repair kit for air compressor hose. This particular one is 5/8 by 1/4. So what you do is you measure the outside diameter of the hose here, and in this case it's about 5/8, and then you measure the inside diameter of the hose, or it tells you right on there that it's 3/8. But that's a little bit misleading because you want this thing to be a 1/4. You're going to measure right at the opening there, the outside of the opening. You see how it's tapered? You're going to measure from there to there. And so if the hose ID is 3/8, you want this thing, these threads, to measure about 3/8, but it's going to be classified as a 1/4 because of this neck down area right here. So just be aware of that. And once you get it, I just ordered off the internet, off of eBay, and all kinds of different sizes pop up. But this is 5/8 by 1/4. So how you do this, you get your hose end that's good, and you get your the large fitting, and you just screw it together. But be aware, it's reverse threads here. So you're going to screw this thing counterclockwise. You see how well it's going on there? That's because I'm screwing it counterclockwise, and it's feeding itself in. So let me do this all the way. There, now it stops. Now it's on there all the way. And then you take this end and you feed it right in there, and it's got threads. See these threads right here? Well, it's also got the same threads inside there, and so you're mating thread to thread. And then after it gets by the threads, which are only about up to there, it's going to thread the rest of the way, and it's going to be that deep or so. So you just thread it in there, and it's going to be a rubber on thread situation back here, which could be metal on metal here. And you don't need to worry about Teflon tape on this because you got the rubber on metal making a good seal. And it takes a wrench. You put this in a vise, and it takes a wrench, and you screw this so it's all the way down. And I'll show you that. Right there, you can see the finished product right there. And you'll wait a week for them or so. And so what you want to do is you want to unreel the hose off of this thing completely, and then you want to do the fix like I got here. And then these threads here that are going to go back on the hose reel, you wrap them in Teflon tape, and the hose is unreeled. Remember, it's on the garage floor, you're going to screw this thing in, and you're going to tighten it down. Now remember, this is not steel on steel. These are brass or bronze, and so it's a soft metal. And so you want to snug them up with a wrench, but you don't want to put the torque on them that you would a steel fitting. So get it all in there and tighten it down until it feels good. Good snug is fine. And then with your Teflon tape, and then roll this thing back together and put your clamp on there. You're gonna have to feed it through this hose, or through the hole here rather, and then you'll be back in business. But I'd seen these before, but I'd never used one, and so I bought 2 of them. This one, I'm unscrewing it again. This is the bad segment of hose that I cut off. So my hose is a little bit shorter. I highly recommend these things. These are great. So, and it even says 5/8 by 1/4 right on there. So go ahead and do that when you break a hose. And they've got these similar things when you need to splice them together. Although for a hose reel like this, it's going around a corner, that's going to be a big flat spot in your hose because this is metal and it's not going to want to bend. You know, make your decision. Do you want to have a fixed hose that you can't really roll up because of a splice link in between, or what do you want? You're gonna have to make a decision. But if it's on the end, it's a no-brainer. Definitely you should do this. So this is definitely worth it. Highly recommend these things. 5/8 by 1/4 for standard shop size air compressor hoses. All right, we'll get back to the main entree for today. This is Maury Thibodeau with 316 Automotive, signing off.